Welcome guys back to class. I think it's so funny that this is the kind of content that I'm making now, because in a lot of ways I feel like there's still so much for me to learn. I am trying to share what I know from someone who is probably hopefully around the same age that a lot of the people who are watching this video is or are. Guys, as we go into 2025, I need you please to let your talents and gifts be seen. Stop hiding. Stop hiding it. If you enjoy singing and you want to make it into something that is, a pretty distinct part of like your brand, like if you want to be like on Instagram and create that into a career or something like that, please stop hiding it. If you're good, okay? If you're bad, go sit in a corner somewhere and really work on that, okay? But even if you're bad, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make it funny, but it's like, hello, this is pretty serious. Even if you're bad, okay, guys, I think we're past the point of, like, I remember when I first started watching YouTube around like 2012. I've said this in another video of mine, but this is not the first, nor the second time that I have started a YouTube channel. I've had a YouTube channel previous to this. Like, I would film videos when I was like 12, 13, like wanting to be a YouTuber. But it was like, back then it was like embarrassing. Even though I was scared of being seen, I just thought I wasn't good enough. I thought like the people that I was watching, like Bethany Moda and like those girls, like the 7 Supergirls, like the stuff that I was watching back then, I thought I wasn't good enough. I didn't have a rich enough life. I didn't have something interesting to post or to say about myself. Imagine where I would have been. Of course, it would have been pros and a cons situation, but imagine where I would have been if I had started and pursued and relentlessly followed the dream that I had and still have to be a social media person. Don't shy away from being seen. The thing is, people do see you and you need to get over it. Like, it's just that simple. I used to be a horribly socially anxious person, could barely order my own food in like a drive-through. But I was like, I don't want to be like this anymore. I'm tired of being like this. I'm tired of being like this. And slowly and surely I fixed it. And I can't even relate to that type of person anymore. I can't even relate to the person that I used to be anymore, because it's not me. It's not me anymore. If you want the type of life as a creative, and this video is hopefully directed to people who are creatives, because that tends to be the sector that is hardest for people to want to shine in, because it is kind of like an introverted form of expression in a way, like the arts, music, all of that type of stuff. The way I see it, at least, it's kind of like an introverted sector because it's so vulnerable in a lot of ways. It is your heart and your passion and maybe this talent that you were blessed with, and you've worked to improve it and worked to curate it and worked to like get as good as possible at it. It's vulnerable leading with that, but you need to. Don't be afraid of being seen for it and being recognized for it. And don't, it's a lot easier said than done, but a lot of people will not support you at the start. That's just the reality of it. The thing about humans that is so silly, and I literally do the same thing because I'm a silly human, is we see this artist, right? Take, for example, like a song artist. A song artist? What does that even mean? Like a musical artist who has won a Grammy, has won like 5 Grammys or 8 Grammy, and you're like, damn, I knew that girl in high school, but I didn't know that that's what she was doing. And you feel envious and you're jealous and you're like, why isn't that me? Why is it her? Why couldn't it be me? I was in the same music choir group that she was. Why isn't that me? But what you're not seeing when she's walking up to accept her award is the hours of practicing, the relentless pursuit of her dream, the relentless pursuit of her goals. You're not seeing that. While you, in your 20s, when you went off to college, were going out to bars every single weekend, drinking every single weekend, barely getting to class on time, your classmate was in the library. Your classmate was learning how to study better. Your classmate was calling and emailing and texting the professor if possible to clarify questions that they had on a missed quiz. They missed one question, but they're still asking, I don't understand like what I got wrong. Can you explain this to me? They're up all night going on YouTube, looking at the organic chemistry professor or tutor, watching all his videos that he has to talk about dispersion forces, and they're trying to understand why they got that question wrong and how to never make that mistake again for the future exam. And so when they get 100% on that exam and you get a 5%, you cannot be mad at that. There are people out here who are willing to do the work, and they may not even be half as talented as you are. They may not even be a quarter talented of talent that you have, but they are so willing to sacrifice and do whatever it takes to get there. Guys, I'm telling you, it's insane. And I've seen it throughout my time on social media as a child all the way up to now. Even like me, I was thinking like there've been a lot of artists lately that I think Victoria Monet was one of them that recently got awarded for like some like songwriting or something like that. But she's been in the game for 10 plus years. 10 plus years. I can't even remember some of the other artists, but there are other artists that, even Abbott Elementary. It was so crazy to me, guys, because if you knew, I can't remember her name right now, but the lady who acts in Abbott Elementary and created the entire show, she used to be on BuzzFeed. She used to be doing BuzzFeed, guys. And I remember I would watch her videos. I think she was so great, all this stuff. Sorry I live in a city, and so it's constantly like this. When BuzzFeed ended, and a lot of the people who were on BuzzFeed and like were big names on BuzzFeed literally faded into obscurity for whatever reason, because obviously everyone has their lives and whatever's in it. I personally didn't know, so it came as a shock to me that she was like a writer. I didn't know. And there's a lot of people who didn't know. And so when she walked up to get her awards for freaking Abbott Elementary, and it's breaking all these records with how funny it is and how well written it is, you may look at it as someone who wants to be a writer. You may be looking at it, or someone who does write, and you're like my dialogue is much better than whatever's on this show. I'm much funnier than whatever's on this show. Why is she getting the award? What you don't realize is the amount of sweat and tears and blood that she put into that to only get recognized for it now. This was years in the making, sometimes decades in the making. So please, I'm begging you, realize that there are people out there half as talented as you, half as smart as you, half as charismatic as you, half as intelligent as you, funny as you, pretty as you, slimmer than you, who are twice your level and twice where you are and where you want to be. All because you didn't want to take a chance on yourself. All because you were so scared of being seen. Since 2020, I have had a new lease on life, because that was the year that I feel like my soul shifted into my body, and I realized like, oh shit, this is my life. That was the year that my mortality became more just like in my face and more of a reality. You are not going to be on this earth forever. You are not going to be on this earth forever. And in fact, I might make a longer video on this because it's also something that dawned on me recently, but procrastination and the fear of being seen will ruin you. It will. It will ruin you. On one hand, you need to understand that and have the belief that life will always present you with more opportunities to grow and excel and be better. And that sometimes you do have to make mistakes in order to learn from them. But at the same time, if you miss this opportunity because you were not well prepared and because you were scared and fearful, that is an opportunity that someone else is going to get. That is a train that just passed that you can't come back on for a long time, and you won't even know it. And I think that is very disheartening. And I'm realizing this too in something that I am doing. I look back at my life, which is very short, but hopefully will be a very long life. I look back at my life and I think of some of the trains that I didn't get on because I chose to procrastinate. I chose to be scared of being seen. Some of the opportunities that I missed. Overall, I believe that it's led me to a better place and that I know more because of it. Because the thing about going through life being scared about making mistakes and failing is that is a failure in itself. You can't do anything or get anywhere being scared of trying. Whenever you're not progressing, you're stagnating and you're actively harming yourself and actively getting worse. Don't let someone else steal what was meant for you. Now, I do want to say this. I think no matter what sector you're in and what sector you want your career to be or your life path to be in, there's enough to sit at the table. Always. Always. I wholeheartedly believe this. I find it super fascinating, the acting world and the entertainment industry, because it's like every few years, it works almost cyclically. Only very few people are able to stand out throughout the cycles, like Billie Eilish, Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, those are some female people now that I'm thinking of, but only a few people do stick. Taylor Swift is one of them, right? But the table's never full. And whenever I talk to people about the music industry and the entertainment industry, there's this one person I talked to about the music industry, and they were like, I just feel like it's so saturated now. They say the same thing about YouTube. They said the same thing about YouTube. They say the same thing about TikTok. They say the same thing about Instagram. But guess what? There's still more people trying their hand at content creation on all those platforms, and they're succeeding. They're succeeding. Do not ever let the fear of oh my God, if I don't hold on to this one chance that I got with both hands and really never let go, I'm never gonna get another thing. That's not the case. Don't think about that. Don't think of it like that. There is always a seat at the table. 1 minute, Cardi B is the hottest rapper ever. She's getting all the accolades, all the praise, all the awards, all the money, all the Vogue covers. And just as quickly it's gone. And now someone else is at the table. Which is, what's her name? Ice Spice, I think, at this point. It's still her, yeah. And then it's Glorilla. And then it's this other person. And then it's that other person, because there's no end to it, guys. Please let yourself be seen and do yourself a favor and stop procrastinating your talents and your gifts. Do what it takes, sacrifice what it takes to get better in whatever area you need to get better in, whether it means networking, whether it means honing your craft more, whether it means publicizing yourself more, getting started on that Instagram page and learning how to promote yourself on your Instagram page, and maintaining a clean spiritual hygiene while doing that. Don't be the thing that holds yourself back. Let the world do that, because they're going to do that. They're going to try that a lot more than you'll realize. That part's covered. Don't add on to it by being another person that's stopping you from achieving what you want to achieve. Bye.